Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse live post-game show, super late edition. Here we are, Friday night, Saturday morning in the East Coast. The Knicks are on the West Coast. The Knicks were in San Francisco. They went up to play the champs, the NBA champs, who are struggling at the time right now, 6-9, though now they are 7-9 because they beat the Knicks. That's right. Let's get to it. All right, well, here it is. Final score was 111-101. It did feel like the game was much more of a blowout than the actual score indicates, especially because it started out really bad. Knicks got blown out in that first quarter. In fact, also, for one thing, if this is your first time here or you have been here before but haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And turn on the notification bell so that way you're alerted when I drop a new video or I go live. And definitely hit that thumbs up button for me. Very much appreciate that. Along with your comments. Love the comments. All right, well, let's get to this part here I want to show. So you can see we were down by 16 in that first quarter. Couldn't even break the 20 mark in that first quarter. The Knicks just looked flat. They looked disjointed. They look like the whole team had gotten that RJ flu. That's what they looked like. We were able to shake it off, and look at that second quarter, 31 points. Came out in the third quarter, once again, a little flat, ended up dropping up by 2, and then the Golden State Warriors built up a little lead again. They got it up to about 17, 18 at one point. Knicks did cut it down with about 5 minutes left, 5 and change left in the fourth quarter. They cut it to 8 points. And then it all kind of, went awry at that point. I believe Steph came down, hit a big 2, and then it was followed up by a 3-pointer from Klay Thompson, who had a nice breakout game for himself. But you can see right here. Knicks ended up tied points in the paint with the Warriors. We got beat on the fast break points. The biggest lead the Warriors had was 22 points. What's the one thing I wanted to show you guys? The turnovers were pretty much even by the end of it, though they were committing a lot of turnovers in that first half. Shout out to the chat. Thank you guys for joining us. What's up, Cap? Giggles? South Bronx, New York. Good to see you, man. We didn't even sweat this game. Yeah. Randall chucks too many threes early in the game. He did chuck a lot of threes early in the game. Nobody was hitting threes. The Knicks were 0 for 10 in that first quarter. 0 for 10. They were able to recover in that second quarter. I believe they hit 6 of 8 in that second quarter. But then the rest of it was just an eyesore, pretty much. Let's go back to this part here. Okay, here's the thing that's very distressing. I didn't even notice it. Foxy had to text me and tell me this, that Cam left the game. I didn't even notice. I thought he just kind of went out. So I see Popper tweeted this out. Knicks announced that Reddish has a sore right groin and will not return. So he didn't return. And then he tweeted this part here that followed it up with, the play where Reddish appeared to come up hobbling was with 8:50 left in the third quarter, and he remained in until 2:07 left in the quarter. So he played almost another 7 minutes. Yeah, that's a lot of time to leave somebody out there with a sore groin. I hope he didn't aggravate it further. That's the big issue with Cam. He's starting to show us something like a really nice game offensive package, and defensively he's become a lockdown defender. He was struggling today, trying to get around screens. The Warriors are incredibly difficult to guard. I mean, that's obvious. They won it all last year. They've won 4 chips before, so they know how to play this game. They know how to play the off-ball movement game. They know how to move the ball. They know how to set good solid screens, and they're hard to fight over. I didn't see the play, so maybe I'm gonna have to look it up later. Maybe that's when he, aggravated it. So now he's gone, and that's the issue with him. Every year he's hurt. At some point he gets hurt and he misses a big stretch of games, and then things change, and who knows if he can ever. I mean, let's just don't want to overthink it right now. Let's hope he's available. Let's hope he's available for Phoenix. Let's hope this is just a slight little tweak. He's just like, and then that's it. Gets a little treatment on it. Though he's got to fly to Phoenix, so that kind of it's tough when you fly with especially one of those injuries. But with today's medicine, today's gadgetry, hopefully they'll be able to get that thing loose and he doesn't miss any time. I don't want to see Cam miss time right now. He's on a roll. He's rolling, and we need him to keep that way. We definitely missed him. If we definitely missed him in that fourth quarter when they were making the run, we could have used his length, his defense, his ability to knock down a big three, which he's been doing consistently. So hope that this is just a minor thing. I'll follow up some more information on that. I haven't checked and watched any of the post games or anything, so I don't know what's happening there. So here, look at the stat lines here. Julius, you can look at it here. It looks nice. 3 of 7 from the three-point line, 20 points, 7 of 15 overall, 7 rebounds, 2 assists in 30 minutes. Cam, 11 points in 25 minutes. Only hit 1 of 4 from the three-point line. But let's see. The one stat that really jumps out at you. Well, there's 2. Definitely was probably Jalen Brunson's worst game in a New York Knicks uniform. He struggled tremendously. He looked lost out there defensively, and his shot just wasn't there. He was just sometimes just throwing it up. He kind of reminded me of RJ when he just throws the ball up there. And but when Jalen does it, the expectation that it's going to go in is incredibly high. It wasn't tonight. So he was 2 of 13 overall, 1 of 5 from the three-point line. Did finish with 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. But, I mean, he hits half his shots. This is a very different game. And possibly, but, the Warriors maybe don't let their starters sit out as long as they did in that fourth quarter. So you never know. But still, I think this game could have been a lot more competitive if we had the same Jalen Brunson that we had been seeing throughout this season. RJ woke up a little bit, but still finished, shot less than 33%, 6 of 19, 1 of 6 from the three-point line. Finished with 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists, though, which is nice. That's really nice that he got the 5 assists. But, man, don't take the shot if you're not going to make it. I mean, I know it sounds simple, but you kind of get a feel if you're going to force a shot or not. He was forcing shots left and right unnecessarily. So it's starting to annoy me, even if he is sick. He plays 40 minutes. So we're talking about someone who's, I've been making excuses for him being sick. And meanwhile, he comes out and plays 40 minutes and shoots less than 33%. Just, it's mind-boggling that we were kind of within reach in this game. That we even had cut it down to, I think it was 8 points. We had cut it down to 8 points after being down by 22. It's kind of crazy. But the other stat line that really jumps out at me, there's 2 of them, and they're almost identical except for the minutes load. Obi Toppin, 0 for 5. 0 for 3 from the three-point line. Same for Emmanuel Quickley. 0 for 5, 0 for 3 from the three-point line. Quickly actually had more rebounds, 6, but he played an additional 8 minutes. Obi made so many mistakes. It's like, I kind of, to be honest with you, I mean, not to make excuses for him, but it did seem like he seemed lethargic. He couldn't hold on to the ball. He was making silly passes, making silly fouls. I think maybe, that RJ flu. The RJ West Coast trip flu is going. Maybe it's starting to go around, and Obi's feeling it. But it's not like the kind of flu that takes you out of a game. It's just kind of puts you under the weather, which is annoying. If you can't play, if you're sick, don't play. But in this case, it's kind of hard to know until you're actually out there, unless it's hit you hard. Quickly, same thing. Look at that shooting. I mean, it's atrocious. The Knicks shot 26.5% from the three-point line, 34.5% overall. But there was a silver lining, and the reason why the Knicks were able to stay in this game, and it was the free throw shooting. I believe the Knicks shot, they connected on 30. Where is it here? Yes. The Knicks hit 32 out of 34 free throws for 94.1%. And the crazy thing is, Golden State is one of the best free throw shooting teams in the NBA, have been for years. They missed 9 of 20. They missed 9 of 20 for just, they only hit 55% of their three-pointers, and Steph Curry missed 2. So that is what kept them around. They kept fouling the Knicks. So the truth is, like, if the Knicks had hit their shots, there was a chance the Knicks could have made this game close and possibly even won this game. Like if Brunson had hit his shots. If, here, let's go back here. Or here, you can see Golden State Warriors. Klay Thompson hit 8 of 16. Steph Curry, 9 of 19. You know, didn't have an outstanding game. You know, 24 points for him, 20 for Klay, 20 for Wiggins. But very well balanced scoring. I think they had 6 players in double digits. So that's, but look at Jordan Poole, only 5 of 17, also a very poor shooting game. What's up? Shout out, hey, Cam from the Kickback. What's happening, man? Oh, cool. I'm glad you could catch the game live. It's awesome, man. I mean, catch the recap live. I'm glad. You know, I've been doing this on the West Coast because by the time I record it and upload it, it's kind of gone out there. And it's, you know, if I'm up late doing this, you know, it's nice to have camaraderie, you know, to hear how you guys feel. So that's great. Hey, if you guys can hit that thumbs up button for me, that'd be great. Very much appreciate that. Let's see. Yes, the plus minus. You're right. Kep Randall was minus 17, most in on the team. RJ was only a minus 10. So that shows you he was contributing. Once he kind of like shook off the funk from that first quarter that everybody had. The whole team had it. He was able to start contributing at least. He made some nice passes, I'll tell you. Like, there was a beautiful dump pass over to Sims for a nice dunk. Sims had a great game for him. He had a double-double, I think his third one of the year. You can see he's a +3. Isaiah Hartenstein struggled, finished -9, only 8 points. He did shoot 3 of 4 and hit one of his 3-pointers, but defensively, he's really struggling. He's just not, hasn't clicked in yet, though he did have a nice block on Jordan Poole. We're missing Mitch. It's going to be interesting when Mitch comes back and he's healthy and effective. What's going to happen with the minutes? Like, how can you put Sims back in the bottle? You know? I mean, he's out. This genie is out, and he's wrecking it, man. He's a wrecking. Look at that, 4 of 7. He looked great, honestly. And I know he can dribble. I know he's got a little bit of a handle. He can actually go to the hole from the 3-point line. Once he starts doing that, adds that to his game, it's going to be an interesting dimension that there may be nights where he ends up getting that role off the bench as the center, as the main guy off the bench. Derrick Rose, he actually, his stat line doesn't show it, but he had a decent game. 3 of 7, 1 of 3 from the 3-point line, though. That's still, Sims was great. But look at Obi. This was Obi's worst game of the year. Only 1 point. Even though Quickly did have 6 points, I think they were all from the free throw line. He was 6 for 6 from the free throw line. The team shot lights out from the free throw line. So that was a big relief. I mean, the fact that they were 0 for 10 from the 3-point line in that first quarter and were down 16, and they were able to claw back in this game and kind of stick around and kind of make the Warriors sweat a tiny bit. Testament to them, testament to their work ethic. But it did feel like the team, this West Coast trip, that back-to-back is starting to catch up to them, which is disappointing. Obviously, very disappointing. Let's see, where do we go to next? Let's get to, I want to show you this part here. This guy Lamb, I don't know where he came from at all. Jermichael Green, he came in for 17 minutes, 5 of 8. He hurt us. He hurt us inside a lot. Who else? DiVincenzo. A lot of Villanova guys out there today. So you can see right here, the Warriors put up 50 3-point attempts and connected on 36 of them. enough right there. That's the game right there. You can see when they hit twice as many 3-point shots as we did. So right there, that's 27 points. That's 27 points. We made up for that because we hit almost 3 times more free throws than they did. So we hit an additional 21 free throws. So that almost canceled that out. So you can see how the game was closer than it should have been because of the free throw shooting. But so look, if the Knicks, let's hope when we get into Phoenix and we got Cam available, that the Knicks can hold on to this free throw shooting that they've been doing here. Kind of bring back some of that defensive intensity that we saw against Denver, and maybe they can put it together for a nice win in Phoenix. You guys know, if you guys been watching some of the streams and everything, you know that's the game that I've been really wanting to get that monkey off our back. Last year we were able to go in, I think it was a trade deadline day or whatever, and we won the game in San Francisco. We kind of surprised them. We stole that game. Weren't able to do it this year, but I want us to win that game on Sunday really badly. Shout out to Coach Henry. What's up? Knicks are sick and tired from the trip. Yeah, they are. It's brutal. This is a tough trip, but still, some of the decision making out there, it was just a big head scratcher. Like RJ, like why are you running into traffic when you don't have any lift? And if you got your one guy beat and you see that the other guy's not going to get there close enough, fine. But if they're all collapsing in there, look for your guys out on the wings. Look for your guys out on the 3-point line. I mean, it's just a simple game when you do that. And he finally did do it. He did do it sometimes. Obviously, he ended up with 5 assists, but just not enough, man. RJ's really struggling. I hope it is. And let me tell you this. For a guy like him who doesn't have, outstanding athleticism to begin with, once you get one of these cold or flus, and because remember he was rolling, he was coming out of his shooting funk from the beginning of the season. About 4 games ago, the 5 games before these last 4 games when he started getting sick, the 5 games before that he was shooting 50% from the field and 42% from the 3-point line. So he was looking good, and then this cold flu thing, we don't know what it is, they haven't told us, comes, throws him off. And the thing is, when you keep going out there, when you're not feeling well and you're shooting, it kind of sometimes starts throwing off your mechanics because you don't have the lift in your legs. So then you try to compensate from it. And the smart thing is to not compensate from it. So maybe he wasn't even doing that, but it still throws off your rhythm. So, and then when you start getting your energy back, you're really not back all the way. So let's just hope tomorrow they fly to Phoenix. Maybe they'll fly to Phoenix tonight. I mean, it's early here. It's 10:30 p.m. here. So in California. So they fly to Phoenix tonight, get into their hotel rooms. They all chill. They relax. Thibs gives them the morning off, and maybe they have a shoot around tomorrow night. They have a nice dinner together and all that stuff, get the camaraderie back. And again, get a good night's sleep Saturday night, and then they come out on Sunday and beat those Phoenix Suns. I'd love to see that, who I believe lost tonight. The Phoenix Suns lost tonight, I believe. If you guys know that, just drop it in the chat. I'm going to look it up. But if you guys, I think they lost tonight. Yes, they got beat by 1 point, but they were in Utah. So the Suns have to travel back home. So at least they were also on the road. They lost to Utah, and we beat Utah. So it just shows that we can steal this game, man. Let's see what's going on. I'm streaming from my other software, so I can't put comments on here, but I'll read them out loud. Yeah, you guys drop any questions or whatever. El Cid, what's up, brother? Hey, George, we were in this game after a poor start. I'm not going to complain that Sims is off the charts. Yeah, Sims, great game for him. I don't know if you heard me earlier when I first started, but I was singing his praises tremendously. Big L, yeah. RJ He was terrible tonight. He really was. But not going to like you said, not going to sweat this game too much. They weren't going to win. I mean, I'm happy we're 2-1 on this road trip so far. To me, if we went back 2-3, we'd be fine. Oh, here we go. A tweet out from Steve Popper concerning Cam Reddish. Popper says, Cam Reddish said it wasn't the one play. That's what I had a feeling. It wasn't just that one play. When he came up limping, that he strained his groin. Speculated that it could have been from chasing Steph with the constant motion. That sounds about right. If that is it, then that's a good thing. Because when it's one specific play, then that's sometimes it's like you pull the groin and you're like, ah. But if it's just from soreness, from overextending yourself repeatedly throughout the whole entire game, sometimes just rest. Maybe one night of rest, just maybe 36 hours of rest is enough to get him ready to play the game on Sunday. So let's hope. Fingers crossed for that, man. Fingers crossed for that. Very rough start for RJ. Very rough start for RJ. Oh, in fact, I want to pull that up here because that start for RJ was tragic. The whole team, that whole first quarter was a tragic start. Let's see. Here we go. You guys drop any questions you guys have or whatever. See the first period. Yeah, RJ was 1 of 4. 1 of 4. Ooh, the whole team shot 5 of 21 in that first quarter. 0 for 10 from the 3-point line. So I was right. If it weren't for making 9 free throws, can you imagine this team would have been completely blown out from the first quarter? Would have been over. I would have been on here like at halftime. Then in the second quarter, I was right. They came out. They shot 6 of 8 from the 3-point line. Hit all 7 of their free throws. 11 boards. Scored 31 points. They really took over that game in that quarter. And then in the third quarter, once again flat. RJ 2 of 7. Yeah, that's just. But Randall was 1 of 6 in that third quarter. He also said at the end of that Denver game in the post-game interview that he was, kind of feeling a little sick, so he might have that RJ West Coast trip flu. So he might be battling with that. If it weren't for Derrick Rose, 3 of 4 in that third quarter, kept us around, and Jericho Sims gave us some great energy there. The Knicks, we were only down by 2. We only lost that quarter by 2, surprisingly, which is it's pretty much because the Warriors are struggling on defense. We should have exploited that more. We should have gone more to the hole tonight. And I think the reason it just didn't happen is because the team on a whole were depleted from energy-wise. They seem. I think Alan Hahn tweeted out. Seems like the whole team took an Ambien before this game and came out all like sleepy and groggy in that first quarter, and just could never really recover from that. Let's see. F-bombs, no F-bombs here, man. These guys, they've worked hard the past couple of games. Got to cut them a little slack tonight. Obi was the one who really annoyed me, because this was the game where Obi could have really come in and taken over. They don't have anyone who could handle Obi, and he just kind of like rolled over for them. So in that respect, I am really frustrated by his game in particular, especially if he sees his teammate Cam leave with an injury. That should like make you want to step up even more, to make up for him. Also, and then Grimes, do we see? So Cam leaves the game. We need the perimeter defense. Do we see Grimes? No. We only in garbage time. I think we played like 4 seconds or something. So that stuff continually confuses me. So Cam his foot is just not right. It can't just be conditioning, because that's how you get into condition. Get in the game, especially if you're already behind playing against the champs on the road. perfect opportunity to let Grimes get some burn. You know, and I mean, by that point, it almost once the lead was 22 points. You know, let him out there. Why not? And you've lost one of your key rotation, your starters. You lost one of your starters, Cam. So get him out there. It's crazy. Adrian, it seemed like the Warriors packed the paint. They did pack the paint, but they were fouling. So they weren't packing the paint in an efficient way that really shut the Knicks down, because the Knicks were able to penetrate and pick up fouls. So, and I think the problem is that it's really, at the end of the day, I mean, let's just be really honest about this. Yeah, Cam can penetrate and get to the hole and finish, but he doesn't pick up fouls. He's not one of those. He's almost like slips through people. He does up and unders. He can get around people. He's fabulous like that, but he doesn't go through them and pick up fouls. And Randall doesn't really do much of that either. He can do it. He just doesn't do much of it. You know, the one who does it consistently, the two are Brunson and Barrett. And Barrett started doing it. Barrett got them into foul trouble. That's when he started finally feeling a little better and started contributing. But Brunson was just atrocious. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it tonight. 2 of 13 he shot tonight. Was it 2 of 13 or 2 of 11? I had it up here. Oh, here. I ask you guys, and I have it right here. He was 2 of 13. Yeah. See, that's considering that our point guard, our super reliable point guard, shot like shit. Randall just in that second half disappeared, and Cam literally disappeared in that second half with a groin injury. Considering all that, gotta hand it to, and considering that Obi was, 0 for 5 and Quickly was 0 for 5, that we were we had cut this lead down to 8 points, 5 minutes and change left in that fourth quarter. That shows that this team has got something. They definitely have something. Tonight, they just couldn't pull it all together to pull out a win. There were too many things going against them tonight. And I think a lot of it is just fatigue. It comes down to fatigue. And who knows how many people are catching these little colds and stuff. Let's see who else we got. Hey, Gideon! What's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, brother. New York did get to the line, but didn't use the mid-range. No. I know. Tonight would have been a nice night for some good mid-range arsenal. Well, they did use it. Brunson just couldn't connect. So that was a difficult. It was a difficult game. But look at that Sims line scored, 10-10. Love it. It seems pretty obvious that he could definitely average a double-double in this league if he started. He does. It just his athleticism. And his footwork is supreme. He's worked hard at it, and it's showing. He's just got to get that little mid-range, the little jump hook thing going, which we've seen it. Like I said before, definitely we saw it all in the summer league. So we got to see a little more of that. Let's see, we got Ahmad. What's happening, brother? Good to see you. LOL, Obi missed dunk. Oh, that's two dunks, and the behind the back one. Come on, bro. You can't take those if you're going to miss it. You have to make it. Those were your own words. Now, it wasn't like the between the leg and between the leg and windmill dunk, but still, you can't take it behind the back one if you're not going to make it. If you can grab it, land, jump back up and dunk it. If you're not 100% sure you've got that rim measured and you can do it, don't do that. And he did it twice. Not twice. Not behind the back dunk. That was just one time. But another time he missed an alley-oop. And there was one time he gets the rebound, he's corralling it, and then I don't know, because the camera work, they cut to another angle or whatever, and then suddenly the ball's loose. He coughed it up, but then he swiped it out. I think he swiped the pass out of the air and grabbed it back. So it didn't end up resulting in a negative point result, but that moment just shows you the carelessness. And I think that's kind of indicative that he might be beginning to be under the weather. So this Phoenix game on Sunday, this could be I mean, we could be headed towards a shit show. Cam is out. Obi could be coming down with something. RJ is still in a terrible shooting funk. Randall, if I recall correctly, Randall struggles in Phoenix. If Brunson doesn't get out of this funk, I mean, then it could be a similar result in Phoenix. And I definitely want to win that game. What's up, JC? Why are they not letting Rose play point guard for the 10 minutes he's in the game? Well, it's been, when IQ and Rose share the court, they share the point guard duties. It's like almost every other possession. Not quite exactly like that, but they share it. It's not like one guy is the one on the court. And I think lately, Rose just hasn't been feeling it. But tonight he did. Tonight he tried his best, and I showed you that one quarter. I think it was the second quarter. He contributed well, and I think he helped us get back in this game. So, but maybe he will start taking more of the leadership of that second unit from a point guard point of view. But just the way that Mr. Quickly has been playing of recent is really, I mean, defensively outstanding. Let's see, we got, hey, good to see you, Joshua Morales. If we don't win Sunday, our season is over. Oh, man. Yikes. Well, I mean, I don't know about that, but I think these two games we won, those are huge games. The Utah game and Denver game are monstrously significant. We have not won back-to-back games. Not necessarily back-to-back, but even back-to-back. We haven't won two games in Utah and Denver on a road trip since 2006. So it's very significant. It's an odd team. It's hard to figure out what's happening here. Are we watching the final surge of a wounded team to kind of like, just from pride, they're getting themselves back up to make one last effort to kind of make up for some poor play, but then eventually they'll just drift back to what they were? Or are they in the midst of a metamorphosis of trying to figure out what's working and leave aside what's not working, and then keep trying to problem solve and work this way through it and become a good team, become that 47 win team that I think they can be. They definitely look like that 41 win team right now, which is right smack in the middle. And it's an improvement. It's a 4-win improvement over last season, or even, let's say, even 42 wins. So they finished 42 and 40. That's an improvement. And adding Brunson to this team should be enough to give you that. The thing is that the way we were losing some of those games, like against the Nets and the OKC game, and even some of those wins, like the Detroit win, that was just so discouraging. It starts making you scratch your head, but that's what was so. That's why that Utah game was so significant, and they followed that up with that Denver game. So this was always going to be a tough matchup for the Knicks because the Warriors are struggling on the road. So they want to hold their home court advantage. They don't want to give that up, and they didn't, and they got it through it, and they won it. It was mostly out of pride and execution. I mean, you saw the way they moved that ball. Have you guys watched the game? I mean, that's just gorgeous. And the way they cut, and they set those pin downs and those double screens, and it's just beautiful basketball offensively. Beautiful. Let's see what else we got here. Rodney Adkins. Adkins, good to see you, man. Got to bring more energy and confidence. Yeah. It did feel like their confidence was rattled in that first quarter, but they were able to regain it in that second quarter. So shout out to them for that. El Cid says, George, according to Bleacher Report, Knicks looking to unload IQ and Rose. What's your take on possibly? Well, you guys should definitely check out the pregame show. Keese and Foxy and I broke all of that down. We gave you our input on that. I feel the Knicks, I think the way Bleacher Report characterized it is a shameful mischaracterization. They use the word shopping, and that's not at all how Shams Charania, who actually broke the story today, but it was Ian Begley who originally broke the story last week, and he said that the Knicks had been getting calls. And remember, Ian Begley is very meticulous about this stuff. He uses his words very carefully. He picks them very carefully. It's not the Knicks shopping. They're getting calls, and it makes sense, especially when you watch that pregame show. I show all the stats and why someone like Quickly would be of interest to other teams, especially for the little bit of money that he makes. His salary compared to how he impacts winning while he's on the court, he's a tremendous value. So there would be no doubt they'd make inquiries to find out, especially that they know that Grimes is definitely going to be a key piece of the rotation. So then it becomes, all right, you have 10 men and your coaches decided to cut it down to 9, but one of your key guys is hurt and not playing, which is Grimes. So when Grimes comes in, it goes back to 10. No, it's going to stick at 9. So that means someone has to come out of the rotation. It's most likely going to be Rose. I think Rose will be the first one traded, and then they'll see how it goes. So Rose will be traded first. They'll see how it goes. And then if the team keeps playing well and Quickly is responding, and I think today also those trade rumors and everything may have messed with Quickly's head a little bit, despite what he said to reporters in the pre-games. I would say I'd give it 40% chance IQ gets traded before the trade deadline. I give it a 40% chance he gets traded. So 60% chance he stays with the team. That's just my feeling on it. Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, I see. Hey, just keep it chill in the chat. Hey, man, we struggled. But any team struggling, just play the Knicks to get right. That's totally not accurate at all, Edward. The Knicks are 8-8. We have actually a better record than the Warriors. We have a better record than Brooklyn Nets. The Knicks are, despite all of their issues, they're right there in the play-in hunt, in the playoff hunt. And this team is still trying to figure itself out. So, not a correct characterization of the situation. Let's see. I mean, look at tonight. Two of our three best players struggled tremendously. They're super dependable. Jalen Brunson. He has one of his regular games. We probably steal this win, or at least it's like it gets close at the end, and it forces Steph Curry to rise up and do some heroics. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. El Cid, you can watch it on the replay. We're going to replay it tomorrow, the pregame, because it was an excellent pregame show. We went through everything. It was nice to have Foxy and Keese together, the three of us, to break everything down that was happening with the Knicks. Let's see. Yes, their Knicks defense definitely is struggling. Absolutely. But, we kept the Utah Jazz, who is one of the best defenses in the game, and we topped them the other night. So I was pretty impressed by that result there. Let's see where we are, and holding Golden State to just 111 in their own home arena. It's kind of a win right there. What else? I think I've pretty much gone through everything right now. I think the rumors are going to start heating up. So get ready for that. You're going to start heating up. We're less than, I think we're like less than 4 weeks away from that December 15th deadline, which is when free agents are eligible to be traded. But you're going to start hearing rumors before that, as people's teams start talking to each other and stuff. And I'll be covering it. I'll dive into them if they're legitimate. I'm not going to jump on every single silly rumor, but if they're legitimate, I'm definitely going to check them out. I hope that we can find a place for Rose, definitely. Because if Thibs is 100% committed to the 9-man rotation, but look what happened now. Cam's out. So this is why it's nice that having depth really does help. But if you don't use it, then what's the point of it, really, right? I mean, Grimes was available. Cam goes down, right? He gets hurt with 8 left in the third, plays an additional 6 minutes, then he leaves. And Grimes isn't someone who comes in to take those minutes from that Cam would normally have. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. Something's going on with Grimes, and they're keeping it incredibly hush-hush. I hope that they actually, Foxy sent me a photo of the bench, and Cam is like way in the back. He's not even sitting on the bench. He's like 2 rows behind. So what is happening there? I don't know. We're gonna have to see, maybe one of the beat reporters can dig up that information for us. It'd be great because we need it. We need it. All right. Well, we got a nice little turnout, man. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning in New York City, and we have almost 70 in the chat. Gotta say, love the passion. It's been a really fun start to the West Coast trip. Now we're past halfway. We're 60% of the way through it. We lost one of our guys. Hopefully, it won't be for long. And RJ's been struggling like terribly. So it's going to be interesting what happens in Phoenix on Sunday. But I already outlined a possibility for how they can recover from this. And again, like this was not such a terrible loss. They had one really bad quarter and then basically won the rest of the game. They won the last 3 quarters pretty much. Not technically in numbers, but in total numbers. Because we lost the first quarter by 16 and we won the last 3 quarters by 5. So hopefully, and that's, like I said, I know I'm repeating myself, that's still with Jalen Brunson struggling like he did. I thought he was going to break out of it. He never did. Never did at all. Steven Arce, he says, package Randall, IQ, and Grimes with whoever many picks it takes for a superstar. Hey, that's exactly what the Knicks want to do. So let's see how it goes. That's what they want to do. They didn't do it for Donovan, though. Hey, look, all that stuff and the Cavs, I think the Cavs and Knicks have the same. The Cavs are 1 game up now because they did win tonight, but they had lost 5 in a row. So all teams go through rough stretches, except for the teams that are just out of their minds, like that Bulls team, like that one Lakers team, and that one Warriors team where they only lose like 6 or 8 games in the whole season. Everyone else, they go through bad stretches, through rough stretches. It's just trying to limit the length of that. That's really the key. Let's see. Hey, Francis, Abogado. What's up, man? What's up? Good to see you, man. Good morning. Good morning, you all. Are you guys watched the game, right? Most of you, I would imagine. At this point, I want to see what everyone's feelings here before we sign off. Do a little poll here. I want to hear your feelings on will Knicks recover and win in Phoenix? Yes or no? That's the game I really want. Really want that one. Ah, man. I'm going to go back to the stat here. So See, the turnovers were even. That's how we were able to kind of stick around. We cut down. We were committing turnovers left and right in that first half. In fact, let me pull it up here. I think I have it here. In that first quarter, yeah, we had 5 turnovers in the first quarter, 4 in the second quarter. So we had 9 turnovers by the half. So then we only committed 7 the rest of the game. So we were able to limit that because I was starting to worry that we were just losing the ball here. And then Obi blowing the 2 dunks. Those are basically almost like turnovers. That was so frustrating that he did that. I don't know what's going. Like I said, all I can think of is he might be coming down with that flu. Throws off your balance, throws off your depth perception, depending if it's a head cold or something. So that part was really frustrating. Randall 1 for 6 in the third quarter. Cam Reddish 1 for 5. 1 for 4 in that third quarter. Brunson 0 for 2. I mean, the team, if it weren't for Derrick Rose in that third quarter, the game would have completely gone out of hand. He was the high scorer in the third quarter. Surprisingly. Oh, man. Well, I hope that Cam is going to be okay. My thoughts are with him right now. I hope it's not a big deal. I hope it is him just chasing, like you said, chasing Steph around. Let's see here. We got... What's up, brother? Adrian. Our offense sucks. Adult donkeys. Brunson Rose is our best backcourt. You know, we haven't seen too much of... we did see a little stretch there. I was about to say we haven't seen too much of it, but we saw it a little bit today where it was Brunson, Rose, and IQ were on the court together. And that might have been because Cam was not available. So it could have been that. But I'm surprised we haven't seen more Brunson Rose just on their own with like RJ, Cam, and or RJ, Julius, and Hartenstein or something like. Maybe we'll start seeing some of that. I think we saw a little tease of it in the preseason. I think so. Being 500 is a blessing. Being 500, and I stressed this in one of the other shows recently, it's really different to be a 500 team with, like where like 2/3 of your main rotation are all over 30. That's not exciting. You're stuck in Nowheresville. But when were once a terrible, terrible franchise with a terrible culture, and then suddenly started solidifying that and got a taste of winning like we did in the pandemic year. And then you recover. You have a bad season last year, but then you recover this year and you finish 500 with basically 7 of your 9 players on your rotation are all 25 and under. That's good. That's positive. Those guys are only going to continue getting better. Most of them are not even in their prime. And if they can be a part of a 500 team then it's a building blocks for the next season. We're still going to need a superstar, or we're going to need one of our guys to pop. I think Obi has that potential. Obi has shown that he has that potential. Though tonight we didn't see it. But I think we're in a good place. We're on a good path. I still feel Thibs is not the right coach for this team, but he's trying. I could see he's trying to adapt. But then he does weird things like, benches Grimes, even when we need him. In fact, this entire road trip, we could have used what Grimes provides. And if he's not in shape, then why even have him with the team? So those are the things that get confusing with this team. So overwhelmingly, it's almost 2-1. You guys don't think we'll win in Phoenix. Okay. That's probably pretty fair. Let's see what we've got. Gonna wrap it up pretty soon. going to read some more of these to chat. The chat is robust. It's let's see here. We got oh well, how do I'll ask you guys. Do you guys feel if we finish 500 that this season will be considered a failure, or would you consider it a success? And now I'm going to put it into a poll. Wait, let me ask that here. Okay. Computer's slowing down. It's like tired. My computer's been working all day. All right, there we go. I'm gonna get that poll. Gotta read the room here. Gonna get a vibe for the room. Yeah, don't panic. I mean, my feeling. I mean, you guys feel however you feel. I'm not panicking because of the way that the team responded on the first two games of this road trip, and even the way they responded in the last three quarters of this game. There's fight in this team. They're starting to like each other. They're starting to like playing with each other. Remember last season, what was the big question of the first 20, 30 games? Do these guys even like each other? Do they even like playing with each other? Do they even go out to dinner together? Remember that? It seemed like they were so disconnected. And mostly I was referring to the starting unit. But I don't get that this year. I definitely believe that Brunson has helped come in. He's come in and he's helped forge a sense of camaraderie and togetherness, and I think that's a real thing, and I think that's really, really valuable. So for that alone, he's been a really positive signing. Let's see, what do we got? Some other super chat. No super chat. This team is missing a bucket getter, Steve R says, and a number one option to lead the way. That is 100% true. 100% true. But one of the main reasons we won those last two games was because in those fourth quarters, it was Brunson who was the bucket getter. He filled that role of a number one bucket getter. The problem is that at his size, it's hard for him to do that every night. Like even tonight, dealing with Curry, Clay, and Jordan Poole, that's a lot of size for him to deal with. Even though Curry's only 6'3", Brunson's 6 feet. I mean, the truth is he's 6 feet. And Curry's got the long arms, and Curry's the way he moves his feet on defense, outstanding. He uses his gifts that he uses on offense, he uses them on defense. So they gave him a lot of problems. And then sometimes they kind of let him get in deep, and then the taller guys came in and kind of shut off Brunson's vision. So we will see this. We will see this continually. He will struggle against larger guard lineups throughout the NBA. But those teams that he goes up against, that they don't have that, and we're coming up one in Phoenix, he can feast. So let's hope that he can do a little bit of that in Phoenix. Success, I mean, literally means I believe the team finishes 41-41 or 42. I mean, when I say finish 500, it could be 42-40, whatever it is. Like, and he gets them in the play-in, and then the playoffs. If we can win the play-in game and get into the playoffs, I'd consider that a success. I mean, it was considered a success for the Pelicans last season, so why can't we have the same situation? They had a worse record than we did last season. Because they were in the West, they were eligible for the play-in, and they won a couple games to get into the playoffs. So if we do that, if we can do something like that, that would be considered a success. Let's see here. We got Yeah, like Deuce. Great. Dan Williams brings up Deuce in minutes. Deuce, we were talking about this in the pregame. Be nice to see Deuce out there. You know, use his tenacity, his point of attack type defense to try and disrupt Steph, to kind of force him off those spots that he likes. But again, no minutes for Deuce. And I get it, because Thibs is trying to tighten up the rotation, 9-man, and we've seen a little more cohesion, less mistakes in general than we had been seeing previously. So it has worked to some extent. All right, good. So overall, almost 3-1. We all feel that it would be a success, considered a success, if the Knicks finish 500. All right, good. It's good to do these polls to get a read of everybody. Pretty soon I'm going to have enough data to kind of look at what maybe there's some opportunities that Thibs should be looking at in terms of alignments, lineups, style of play, type of shots they should be looking for. We're getting very close. Today was the 16th game. At around 20 games or so, you start getting enough data, by then teams will have gone on longer road trips, because you got to factor that in. They will have played better teams and worse teams than them, so all of that helps. You know, after 10 games, it's hard to tell. The Knicks had kind of an easy schedule in the very beginning, those first 4 or 5 games, and then it got crazy tough. And then we were about to go on this West Coast trip, and we were all thinking, oh my God, this team could come back 6-12. And instead, now they're already 2-1, and they have a chance of going back home 3. They have a chance of going back 3-2, or even 4-1. Let's dream big. Let's dream big. Why not? Let's see here. All right, we're looking good. All right, I'm gonna sign off. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I've been talking for hours, man. You guys saw the pregame and all that stuff, so it tires you out, man. But I appreciate you guys staying up with me. It's almost like you guys were hanging out as I did the recap, because usually I just record it by myself, and I throw it up, and then there's no interaction. So I love the input that I'm getting from you guys. It really, really helps. It makes a big difference. I want to thank you guys for that. And again, this was... just throw this game away. It wasn't that monumental in terms of its significance. This was always going to be a tough situation going into San Francisco on a Friday night, especially. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button and check out the merch store. Got some cool hats and jackets and hoodies, all kinds of stuff. It's really cool. It's really some cool stuff. I'm going to order some more stuff for my family and friends as well. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.